To thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear weapons program. He has made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying for time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations.
Our guest is Scott Ritter, former UN weapons inspector, Marine Corps intelligence officer, writes at scottritter.substack.com. Scott, in his speech on Thursday night, trumpeting his attack on Iran, Benjamin Netanyahu went out of his way to thank President Donald Trump.
To thank President Trump for his leadership in confronting Iran's nuclear weapons program. He has made clear time and again that Iran cannot have a nuclear enrichment program. Today, it is clear that Iran is just buying for time. It refuses to agree to this basic requirement of peaceful nations. That is why we have no choice but to act, and act now. The hardest decision any leader has to make is to thwart a danger before it is fully materialized.
All right, so that's Netanyahu. He conflates two things. He says, I want to thank Trump for confronting Iran's nuclear weapons program. He's made it clear that Iran cannot have enrichment. Well, enrichment is different than having a nuclear weapons program. And according to U.S. intelligence, Iran does not have a nuclear weapons program. As we've been discussing in a previous segment, Iran was leaving the door open to one, but that's different from actually having one. And Netanyahu is conflating having a nuclear weapons program with insisting on the right to enrichment, which is Iran's right. But first of all, let me ask you your reaction to Netanyahu personally thanking Donald Trump just as he is launching this, unprecedented, devastating attack on Iran.
Well, it's proof that there was collusion between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu about this attack. And Donald Trump has backed that up by many of the social media posts that he's put out there. So the Israeli prime minister was basically confirming that he had the green light from President Trump. That's an important thing he needs for domestically, because there are many Israelis who would say we can't begin this very drastic step unless we have the full backing of the United States. And I think Netanyahu's not being honest with his own people, because while Trump may have green-lit the Israeli unilateral action, I think in Netanyahu's mind, this means that the United States is backing Israel up, and if the time comes when needed, America will follow through militarily. And I don't think Trump has made that agreement at all. This isn't the first time that an Israeli prime minister, in fact, the Israeli position has been from day one, not one spinning centrifuge. That was their policy. If Iran has a centrifuge enrichment capability, that is by definition a de facto weaponization capability, because the technology used to enrich 3.75% is the same technology that can produce 92%. And so Israel has basically said, no, it doesn't matter what the NPT says, we will not allow Iran to have a centrifuge enrichment program. Barack Obama bought into that policy analysis until he found himself boxed into a rhetorical corner. The reason why Obama changed America's stance from no enrichment to a monitored enrichment program is because he was confronted by the fact that if Iran continued to go down the enrichment path, the United States would have no choice but to attack Iran, and we didn't want to go to war. So we sought to nip the program in the bud by putting in this artificial 1 year breakout scenario standard. The whole purpose behind the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was to monitor, put restrictions on Iran's program, so that if Iran decided to quit this, they would take them a year to go from where they are to being able to produce a nuclear weapon. Because of Trump, again, probably the dumbest man to ever sit in the presidency besides brain dead Biden. Trump now has created a situation where Iran's breakout window is measured in weeks, if not days. I mean, that's the stupidity of Donald Trump. He did this. He started this. He created this. But Trump, there's confusion within the Trump administration's policy circle. I mean, Trump has said that he will never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapons program. But Steve Witkoff, up until the very end, was working with Iran to have a limited enrichment capability. and so Trump one day would say he supports what Witkoff's doing, but then the next day say no enrichment would ever be allowed. And it shows that Trump can't stay on message. I mean, because he gets confused because he knew that he has these secret negotiations with the Israelis, which said we will not allow any enrichment, that we're using diplomacy as a ploy to lull Iran into a false sense of complacency so you, Israel, can hit your knockout blow. But Trump isn't disciplined enough. So he sent mixed messages. And everybody's like, well, what is this Jekyll Hyde? What is this schizophrenic? It's because Trump isn't smart enough to be able to run a covert operation at the same time as he's running negotiations.
Come see us on tour in Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.